So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the 6 fastest ways to improve on controller, and the tips in this video are going to be very straightforward and easy for anybody to start improving. My name is Splashy and I'm known as one of the most mechanical controller players in Fortnite.
Det beror på om du lämnar, har du några av dina vänner att spela med?
Bror, du kan köra med dem. Jaha.
So if you guys follow every tip given in today's video, I promise you will improve extremely fast on controller. If you go ahead to enjoy today's video, and if you found it helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and notifications turned on, and comment down below what you guys want to see in my next video. And also, if you guys would like to support me even further, you can use my supporter creator code YOSPLASHY in the Fortnite item shop. If I can hit 1,000 supporters using my code before the season ends, I'm gonna give away 20 battle passes for season 2. And we have until March to hit 1,000 supporters, and I think we can do it. But yeah, let's get right into the video. Now the first tip of the video is gonna be creating your own warm-up routine that you need to do every single day when you get on the game. And when I'm talking about a warm-up, I'm not talking about getting on the game and doing 20 minutes of 1v1s to warm up. No, we're gonna make a strategic way to warm up in order for you to improve your mechanics and get warmed up at the same time. So the absolute first thing you need to do when you get on the game is that you need to load into a 1v1 map, and you need to start free building for around 20 minutes to warm up your hands and warm up your mechanics, so that when you go into the other strategies in the warm-up, you've already been warmed up with your free builds. Now, if you don't have a 1v1 map, I recommend you guys trying out tryhard 1v1s. This is the only map with actual zero delay coded in UEFN. The people playing this map also tryhard, which is in the name, and you have to play against good players to improve. So if you guys want to play against good competition and you want to improve in your warm-up, then you need to try this map out every day. Once you guys have been free building for around 20 minutes ish and you feel like you've warmed up, it's time to move into the second part of the warm-up, where we need to start working on the mechanics and improving them. After free building for about 20 minutes, you should be warmed up, ready for the second part of the warm-up, which we'll be getting into the duo FNCS box fight PvP. This map was created in order for you to improve with your duo in competitive scene such as ranked or in cups, and especially in the name FNCS. I created this map alongside my friend Zervi, who is a map creator and he's amazing at creating maps. So if you guys do enjoy this map, make sure you guys show some love to him in the description after watching the video. So you load in with 32 other players. Everybody has their own duo. If you don't have a duo, you can just load in as a public and then you just randomly get a duo in the map. So let's say you spawn into the map with your duo and then you guys start fighting immediately. Every time you win a fight, that means you're gonna get into another fight instantly. This way you're getting pressure at all times and you're always improving your mechanics and making sure you focus up. This is arguably currently one of the best maps to improve your mechanics, because you're always engaging with other people in fights, and after the round ends, you don't have to leave, it just keeps on going repeatedly. Now after you've played this map for about 20 to 30 minutes, it's time to move into the final part of the warm-up routine, which will be to use a piece control map. There's so many piece control maps, but I'm going to recommend 3, and you guys can choose whichever one you would like. Now the first map is called 1v1 piece control. You just load into the map and you go against somebody in a map, and you guys have to piece control each other at all times, and then you get the elimination. This way you're going to be improving your mechanics in piece control, which is the main part of mechanics and what every controller player needs to improve on. If you look at Reet, Miro, Day, every top controller player, everybody has mastered piece control. So if you haven't already, you need to get into this map and have it as your warm-up. So before you hop on ranked, cup, competition, or even pubs, you need to make sure you play any type of piece control map for between 15 to 20 minutes. Now personally, I usually play this 1v1 piece control map. The other good map is also Marto's PvP map, which is a free-for-all where you just get into the map and you start to fight against people in this huge arena, and you can respawn every time you get eliminated. Now what's good about this map is that you're engaging with multiple people at the same time, which is, you know, realistic, because in ranked you could get third party very easily, or even fourth party. This is a map that I also play for fun. Like, I don't always play, you know, these maps to improve. I also play them to have fun on the side. You know, when I'm bored, I get on this map and it's very good for practice. Now finally, this map right here, as you guys can see on the screen, is a great map for absolute beginners that are not good at piece controlling, because the piece control in this map is designed with bots that don't shoot you back. So if you're a total beginner, make sure you guys start off with this map exactly right here, and just go through every level, and when you found out that you've, you know, mastered every level, you can go into the duo FNCS box fight PvP and start competing there. Now we're going to get into the second tip of the video, which will be controller settings. Now it's very important that you guys know everything about controller settings and the best settings and sensitivity for controller players. Now if you see somebody like Reed and Faceway and all these guys, they have very low dead zones, and that's because they have 0 delay, max FPS, they have 0 ping, so of course their game allows them to have super fast and responsive time, right? That's why they play on very low dead zone. But for people like me and you watching this video, our ping is most likely not going to be that good. Or even if you have good ping, you need to listen to what I'm about to say. The best dead zone for controller players is between 10 to 12. So 10 dead zone, 11 dead zone, or 12 dead zone are going to be your best friend in order to improve. Now I used to play on 5 dead zone like Faceway, but then when I instantly switched to 10 dead zone, my mechanics improved overnight. It was literally insane, and I couldn't believe it because I always thought, you know, if I copy this top player, I'm gonna be as good as him. That's not the case, because I have to remember that Faceway has the best internet, you know, FPS, PC, has everything maxed out, and I probably don't. So for me, it wouldn't be a good idea to completely copy him. So make sure you guys try out these dead zones to improve in game. When it comes to controller build and edit mode and look and horizontal vertical speed, I always recommend 2.2 to 2.3 on build and edit, and I always recommend between 43 to 45 on look, vertical and horizontal speeds. These are the best for controller players, and these are the most common in order to improve at a fast rate. If you have these way higher or way lower, you might find it more difficult to improve in game. However, if you do feel like these sentences are maybe too fast for you and you want a slower playstyle, you can turn them down. But usually these are going to be the best controller settings for you. Now the third tip of the video is going to be your mentality, alright? Now when it comes to mentality, there's so many things that come into place. First thing is being scared. I know most of you guys, when you guys play ranked or you play, you know, really competitive 1v1 and you see that the other player is extremely good, maybe they're, you know, approaching you with a quad edits, or they hit you for max damage and they're pushing your box and you're getting instantly scared. That happens a lot, and that's something you guys have to change in order to improve. See, I've watched Mongrel for a long time, and in chapter 1 I remember that he said that you should never be scared to approach a fight, never. And I always took that approach since, and I'm never scared to enter a fight. Even though I know maybe a player is better than me, if I have more confidence in the fight, I will win it. So whenever you play ranked, never have the thought that someone is better than you in game when you're fighting, or don't be scared because you got hit first or they're doing an edit on you, because most of the time if you're thinking that way, you're probably not going to improve and you're going to get eliminated. So just be confident in fights. You know, if I have shield and I have a pump and an AR, I know I'm going to be confident in every fight because I have the loot to beat everybody in the lobby. And you don't build confidence, you know, in one game. Obviously, you have to go in multiple games and play like you're the best player. You have to be confident in your ability to win against anybody that you go up against. Now, when it comes to mentality, you also have to not be dumb entering fights. So I know most of you guys, 99% of y'all boys that make somebody 1 HP in game, like let's say you push somebody and you make them 1 HP, right? And you're having a very difficult time, you know, finishing them, right? You're just chasing them and they're building, they're editing, and what you're doing is you're wasting all your AR ammo, shotgun shells trying to get in their box. And when you finally get into their box, you have nothing reloaded and they are just there ready to pump you in the face, and you get eliminated and you probably rage. Now this has happened to me multiple times, and it's probably called running in blind. You're not thinking about the strategy right. So when you get somebody 1 HP, just relax, think about the moment for a sec, just take out a strategic way to eliminate your opponent. Let him or her, you know, box away or run away, and make sure you reload every gun in your inventory and just push their box slowly and don't rush it. This way, when you're being a bit more patient, you're going to be able to, you know, see what they're doing, and if they're trying to make a pump edit on you, you're going to be able to pre-fire them easier. Because usually when you make somebody 1 HP, their instinct is going to be, I have to eliminate my opponent with 1 shot. That's all I have left, or I'm eliminated. So when you know that they're thinking that way, you're going to be able to beat them very easily. Now the last part in mentality is to stop camping, alright? If you're playing solos or duos or squads or trios, never be that guy that camps, alright? It's very bad for improvements. You're never going to improve if you camp in ranked, especially if you have the mindset of, you know, I have to reach Unreal or I'm a bad player. Because that's not the case at all. Ranked system is to place you where you're supposed to be. So if you go and you W key everybody in your lobby and you're able to reach elite, but you're stuck at elite, you know, through W keying, that's the rank for you, and you have to slowly progress to champs and then to Unreal. And if you guys don't know what W key means that you need to push as many players that you see in your sight. So pushing somebody, if you see somebody in front of you, instead of backing away, you need to push them and show them that you're better than them. Because let's say you guys camp and you reach Unreal rank, alright? Let's say you've done that now. when you get to Unreal, what is your main goal in Unreal? Are you gonna keep camping? Because if you stop camping, right, and you go into W key mode in Unreal, when you have been camping your way through ranks, you're gonna get absolutely destroyed and never be able to improve in ranked ever. Which means you have to start W keying and push people with confidence instead of camping to get, you know, a few ranked points and percentage. Now the fourth tip of the video is going to be finding your controller layout. So if you guys don't know, there's many ways to play on controller. There's double paddles, quadruple paddles, single paddles, non-claw no paddles, there's non-claw with paddles, there's claw with paddles, there's double claw, and there's so many different ways of playing Fortnite. I'm going to give you guys the best ways and the ways that you should be using to improving quickly. Now the worst thing that you can play is non-claw no paddles. I think everybody knows this, and if you have absolutely no money and you don't want to go to claw, I'm going to give you guys the 2 or 3 binds that you need to change and adapt to. The first thing is, if you play non-claw no paddles, L3 has to be your edit. It just has to be. And then for me, if I was to go to non-claw no paddles, I would use my touchpad as jump or my right stick as jump. However, me personally, I would use the right stick as jump and I would use the paddle as switch mode. This way I can be smooth, fast, and never, you know, take my thumb off my stick. And this is the best possible way that you can do to improve on non-claw no paddles. So L3 edit, touchpad as switch mode, and then your right stick could be crouch or jump, whatever you prefer. For me, it would probably be jump, so I wouldn't be stiff in game. When it comes to non-claw with paddles, this is my absolute best way of playing Fortnite, the most favorable way, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. The first thing is that if you have a PS4 controller, you can buy paddles for $30 to $40. There's the strike pack and there's the PS4 attachment. You can choose whichever you like. They're both equally as good. If you ask me, I have the PS4 attachment, and having 1 or 2 paddles is gonna make you insanely good. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna go from being a bot into being a literal one of the best mechanical players. It's that easy. The paddles are literally a cheat code in my opinion. They're so good, and anybody that isn't using paddle is missing out on some serious skill development. And when it comes to claw, if you play claw, I'm gonna be honest, if you're already used to claw, stick to claw, because claw is also insanely good. And if you play claw, you're probably good mechanically. You just need to play these maps and warm-ups to improve even more. Now the 5th tip is going to be about auto confirm edits. I'm going to go over all of these, why you should or shouldn't use it depending on what you play. Number 1, if you are a creative warrior and your main focus is getting good at creative, you don't care about ranked, you just want to get good in 1v1s, PGs, and in zone wars, then you should only use edit on release or both. Now this is literally a must if you want to get good on, you know, creative, because in creative it doesn't really matter that, you know, get eliminated, because you can respawn multiple times. And with edit on release, you're gonna edit way faster than you do without it. Now you can still play none and edit fast, which I do, and this is more if you want to get more of like a mechanical playstyle. You want to be able to get your mechanics right and get better aim. So this one right here is for better aim and more consistent mechanics. This one here is for faster mechanics and a little bit worse aim. Because let's say you want to get a right hand peek in a box, right, with the edit on release, you're not going to be able to do that unless you do it extremely quick and you're standing already with the right peek ready to edit, which most of the time you're not, and you're going to get eliminated before. So a quick summary: auto confirm edits, edit on release is meant for creative in my opinion. I know a lot of people like, you know, Peterbot and them use it, but they're on keyboard and it's way different on keyboard. So you should use this if you're on creative, and you should have it on none if your main focus is getting good in ranked and getting good in pubs and you want to, you know, start competing. You should have it on none. Now the final tip of the video is one of the most important tips for controller players. I'm going to go over the preferred item slots, and I'm going to show you guys how you can go from being somebody that always loses a box fight into being the one that always wins it. So when it comes to controller players, right, I'm going to explain something quickly that you guys have to understand, right? When you take somebody's wall and then you go back into your inventory, the first slot, as you can see on the screen, loadout slot 1 will be the first weapon that comes out after you take somebody's wall. Whether that's in a box or you make a pre-fight or you make an edit, this is the first gun that will come back into your hands of your character. So it is extremely important that this is pumped. Now I know 50% of y'all boys that watch this video have AR or SMG here because that's what you guys started playing with in chapter 1. So you have to change this to pump. It doesn't matter what you have after this, but this mainly has to be pump. Now for me, when it comes to loadout slot number 2 in game, I always have a grappler or a sniper in case I don't have a grappler. This is what I usually have. I don't have an SMG here or an AR here. I will come to that very soon. Now when it comes to my healables or consumables, I have these on these 2 slots right here. So when I pick up bandages, minis, and bigs, they come here automatically and they don't go anywhere else where I have to change. So put 2 slots for healables. It's gonna be way easier in fights and way easier when you take somebody's loot quickly in endgame. This is the best option here. When it comes to loadout slot number 1, it's set to assault rifles because I usually use assault rifles or the burst SMG in game. So I don't use assault rifles. What I have in my 5th slot is my SMG. So when I go from my pump to my AR, I simply press L1 and I'm there quickly. Now if you're used to having ARs and SMGs in loadout slot number 2, that's completely fine. As long as the pump shotgun is in your 1st slot, that's all that matters. Now this could take a couple days to get used to if you're not already using these types of preferred item slots, but usually this is gonna be the best thing to improving your mechanical play, because let's say you're taking somebody's wall and then you go into this 1st slot and it's an AR and then you have to go to your pump. That's a GG because you're already gonna get hit by the time you go back to your pump. So make sure your 1st slot is the pump shotgun. If you guys made it this far into the video, comment GOAT. I wanna see who's a real one. Make sure you guys play the FNCS dual box fight PvP. This is the best map to improve. I don't care what anybody says, this is the best number 1 map. Make sure you guys play this map. And also if you guys made it this far into the video, don't forget to use my code YOSPLASHY in the Fortnite item shop, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.